Welcome back to JB Reviews. I have two 2025 Ram 1500s. This is a Laramie, this is a Limited. And I'm sure you guys can tell they both have the Night Edition package. I borrowed these trucks from Larry H. Miller, Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram here in Sandy, Utah. They are both available for sale. Let's go ahead and check out the window stickers for both trucks, and then I'm going to show you guys why I would just choose a Limited, even though it costs a lot more. Here's the Laramie. If you want to get the Night Edition package, unfortunately you have to get the Laramie Level 2 equipment group. So that Night Edition is $3,445, right? Laramie Level 2 is another $2,745. This one does have the 392 rear end, 33-gallon fuel tank, and then here's the total price with this truck, and then here are the Philly Commie numbers, just for reference. Here's the Limited, same story. If you want to get that Night Edition package, you have to get the Limited Level A equipment group. So Night Edition is $3,550. Limited Level A is $5,540. So that package is not just that one cost. You have to get the Limited Level A, or if you're looking at a Laramie, you have to get that Level 2 equipment group. Now destination with total price is right here, $88,475. And here are the Philly Commie numbers. I know what you're thinking. Who in their right mind would spend $15,015 more for the Limited when the Laramie looks exactly the same? And you might be right. Going down the road, most people will not be able to tell the difference. But I'm going to explain to you why I picked the Limited in this video in a second. Now let's go ahead and start with the Laramie. Laramie looks really, really good. Now on this truck, you do have a reflective style full LED headlight, high and low beam, although they do give you the incandescent turn signals, compared to the Limited, which has full LED, including the turn signals, projector style, and it does have animations too. If you do want the animations on the Laramie, including this camera, that would cost you an additional $3,300. Now remember, on that Limited, 360 camera is also an option, but when you get the Night Edition, it basically comes standard because you have to get that Level A, where the 360 camera comes in. Both trucks are going to have the sport hood design or performance hood design, whatever you want to call it. And that's pretty much it for the front ends. I think that the grille design on the Limited has a more like aggressive style, whereas the Laramie is a little bit more cleaner. What do you guys think? Down below, because this one has that tow package, you have the recovery hooks down there, so that would be available for the Laramie as well. Now let's talk about these wheels and tires. So starting off with the Limited, this is a Pirelli tire, 22-inch wheel, 6 lug. You guys see that wheel design? Really nice design. Same tires, but man, this wheel is a carryover, and I understand why they carried over for 2025 because it's really a good design. Which one do you guys like better? I think I like the Laramie better. Both trucks have fender flares. Also, you have the blackout badging. And really quickly, let me just show you a comparison. Here's the Laramie. Here's the Limited. So different powertrain, which we'll explain in a second. You can get either or mirror design. The Limited just has these tow mirrors, just has these lights here. Also, it does have a light here for backing up, especially with the trailer. And then you have a bigger convex on this truck versus the standard mirrors here. Smart key system, painted door handles on both sides. Now the trimming here does not change. You guys see there? However, Laramie does not have standard running boards, so you can get fixed running boards and you can get the power deployable ones, believe it or not. But power deployable does come standard on Limited. Moving on back, on Limited as well, you have a 33-gallon fuel tank standard. However, you do have to use 91 octane. On the Laramie, you don't have to burn premium for the Laramie. However, the standard fuel tank is really small, so that 33 gallon, as you guys saw on the window sticker, is an option. This truck is available with the Ram boxes. However, this truck doesn't have them. On Limited, they come standard. And they give you these LED lights inside. 400 watts of power. And great storage that you can pretty much organize. This is lockable too. Now let's see. On the Laramie, you do have a power liftgate, which is an option on this truck. You can also kick it back up. That's standard on Limited. Now, do you guys see anything different out back? I'll get a little bit closer. What about now? The tail lights are totally different. On the Limited, you have full LED headlights with the animations. On the Laramie, you have incandescent bulbs all the way around, which is kind of a letdown because last year you had full LED. This one has the 7 and 4 pin. This one has a 1-way and 12-way plug for cameras for your trailer. These are available with the Laramie though. LED lights and plate lights, they both are gonna have the Class 4 hitch. Black exhaust tips. Now let's go back over to the Laramie for a second. Down below, that rear end is different from what you get on the Limited. The Limited has a high torque rear axle, and the 392 does come standard. So if you want 392, you can get that on the Laramie, but you can't get this axle. Now, what else you get with this truck is you get this bed cover because it comes a part of the Night Edition package, and you get the spray in bed liner with the bed lights. On this Laramie, they give you the bed lights, which I think are an option, I believe, but there's no spray in bed liner. And you guys see the high mount? Those are incandescent bulbs right there. Whereas on the Limited, you have full LED. I forgot to mention that the Limited does come standard with air suspension, but if you want it for the Laramie, it's $1,995. Let's talk about the powertrains next. Both trucks are going to have the 3-liter inline-6 twin-turbo Hurricane. The only difference is Laramie has the standard output and the Limited has the high output. If you're looking at this Laramie, this standard output is going to have 420 horsepower with 469 pound-feet of torque. It takes a 0 W20 oil. On this side of the house, oh yeah, really quickly, just take note of the engine cover because they do change it slightly. Not sure why, but they just do. On this side, you have the high output. This engine has 540 horsepower and 521 pound-feet of torque. As far as the boost, it comes on around 26 psi versus 22. You guys see here, this engine also uses a 0W40. Now, there's not a big difference in the differences of these engines, but for the high output, there are some exclusive parts for this engine. I don't really know what they are off the top of my head, but there are some differences with this engine here. But there's a lot of things that they do share together. The standard output Hurricane is not available for the Limited, and you cannot get the high output with the Laramie. So with that being said, I think the biggest reason why I would get the Limited is the powertrain. You get more horsepower, more torque, and I've already done a comparison on these two engines. The high output will walk this standard output like a stainless steel. But on top of that, you don't get that upgraded axle, which is supposed to help with the ride comfort too, which is kind of interesting. One last thing, 8-speed transmission, 8 HP 75 for both trucks. Here's the door for the Laramie. They do have a lot of soft touch. It's like a vinyl material, some stitching, and here's some of the wood treatment that they give you. It is a fake wood trim piece. Suede insert right there. And again, more soft touch in the right spots. This one also has the Harman Kardon sound system. You have power folding outside mirrors, auto up and down for the front only. Let's go ahead and check it out for the Limited. Notice how you have the quilted leather. The quality of the materials are upgraded on the door too, as well as you have a real wood trim piece that's actually porous, black chrome, and that quilted leather looks amazing. Again, more of the upgraded materials here, but this is not going to change really. But look at your speaker grills on the Limited. They do upgrade that as well. And just really quickly for reference, you see right here, all this is soft touch, but it doesn't have that nice look that the Limited does. So that's where the biggest differences are on the door. Now, you also have this button here. You don't have this button for the Laramie, and I'll go over that in a second. 12-way seat, because the lumbar does go up and down. Now notice how on the seats, they do cheapen up the Limited a little bit. I said this in the last video, they give you this fabric material, as you guys can see, but you have more of that quilted leather here. Both trucks are gonna have the tilt headrest. Let's go ahead and check out the seats for the Laramie. Both trucks have this nice trimming around the controls here. However, you don't have a 12-way seat for the Laramie, you have a 10-way. And they've always done these little inserts on the seats that you see here. Perforated leather on both sides, heated and ventilated seats. However, you don't have the seat massagers on this truck. It's not available. Tilt and telescoping steering wheel on both sides. And then here's some of your controls. You have the power pedals, electronic parking brake, and they both have the drive modes. This Laramie does have this fully digital gauge cluster here. And you guys notice right there, no heads-up display, as well as no leather wrapping on the grab handle. Laramie does have leather here, as well as a heads-up display, although if you don't get in that edition, heads-up display is technically an option. Fully digitized gauge cluster. This one does have self-driving because of that level A equipment group. Now, believe it or not, both trucks do have the 14.4-inch display, and they both have the dual charger. The only thing on this center console that you won't see really that's a big deal for me is this nice wood trimming. So you don't have covers at all on the Laramie. You see that? Not a bad look, but it just looks so much nicer in the Limited. They both have a bunch of USBs, and they have this HDMI for this passenger screen. So this pretty much comes standard on Limited, and it just allows you to be like a co-pilot. On the dash, you guys can see soft touch, but it doesn't have that nice design. Here is the center console for the Laramie compared to more quilted leather, Limited badge, and you see the dash. It's just so much nicer. And that's my point. Even though the price points are big, it's a big difference, 15 grand. But if you want to get the air suspension, if you want to get a lot of the features that you have on this Limited that are available, you can actually lower that price difference down to about $6,000, and you still don't get the high output. You still don't get the better rear axle. I think that for what you're getting on this one, it's just worth the upcharge. Again, you don't have massagers for, actually I have to have the truck on actually. But yeah, you have the massage function there. You don't have this for Laramie. And just the overall fit and finish of the interior, it's just top notch on this side of the house. It's just no comparison. This digital rear view mirror is an option for the Limited under the Level A equipment group. Not available for Laramie. Here is all the controls above. It's going to be the exact same for both trucks, full LED interior lighting. Also, you have the home link. Now, there's no LED for your vanities, but it is what it is. They're both available with the twin panel moonroof. They also both have the black liner. Let's go ahead and check out the rear, and then they'll probably be the last thing I'll show you guys on the interior. Here's the Laramie. Huge cab, 60/40 bench. You can recline the rear seats. Really nice center armrest out back too. Power sliding glass with defrost, all that standard. Outboard heated seats, 4 USBs, 115 volt power plug. You have some air vents, cup holders right there. Seat back pockets. And then here's just a quick look at that door. And they still have nice speaker grills on Laramie too, but it's just a little bit more elegant on the Limited. Same story. All this is the same. However, they do give you that quilted leather design right there. And guess what? You have heated and ventilated seats, but everything else is pretty much the same out back. Let's go ahead and check out the payload. The Laramie has a 3,900 pound gross axle weight rating out front. The rear is 4,100 pounds with a 7,100 pound gross vehicle weight rating. And these wheels are going to be 22 by 9 wide. Payload is 1,549 pounds. The numbers for the Limited are pretty much the same, but you're going to have a lower payload because you have more options. So spray in, power to pull running boards. Ram boxes actually are heavy too, believe it or not. With the tonneau cover, all those features are going to lower that number. But as I said, you're already spending a lot of money on these trucks, and I feel as though with what you're getting on the Limited, it makes more sense to get that truck. The air suspension, you also get the power deployable running board standard, you get the bed cover, spray in, massage seats, and the 4K rear digital rearview mirror. There's just a lot of things that you get on this truck. I mean, they're self-driving, the list goes on and on. And if you add most of the options on the Laramie that the Limited comes standard with, you're basically gonna be about $7 grand difference in price. And again, you still can't get the big engine, the rear axle, on and on and on. So hope you guys liked the video. Be sure to give your thoughts down below. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. See you guys soon.